Jory, is that how you...
Mr. Luff, yeah.
Mr. Luff, yes. All right. Sometimes my pronunciations of fantasy names rubs people the wrong way. So. All right, so...
Well, it's better than Freya calling him Mr. Laugh.
Are you okay, Josh?
I'm gonna keep that for later.
No.
Mr. Laugh. Actually, I at some point I have to have some really nasally court clerk saying, Mr. Laugh. That would be beautiful. All right. So, Mr. Laugh, we are going to begin with you. Please tell me where you are and what you are doing here in the fair city of Waterdeep. Quick thing for everybody, I'm going to have you introduce what your characters look like, what you're doing, and I'm going to kind of bring you all together at the Yawning Portal Inn. So...
Oh, we kind of had plans of how we were going to meet.
Well, hang on. You're not meeting there. Y'all get to control that. All I'm saying is eventually Mr. Loth needs to make it to the Yawning Portal if he wants to give that money to the people that need it.
Okay.
I have a dude I have to, give the thing to.
Well, actually, it's a lady. Her name is Gwendolyn Redhammer, and she's a hill dwarf priestess of Ilmater, the god of suffering.
Just give me one
God of
second
suffering.
here. My computer's being really slow, and I've been trying to get myself situated, and it just
no problem.
Okay.
Ilmater is the god of suffering. He will sometimes appear when people are being tortured and take their place and allow them to escape.
Oh. So he's not a god of suffering. He's a god of taking away suffering, sort of.
He sounds like he enjoys the suffering.
Well, it's one of those weird things. He's the god of martyrs, and he's kind of the enemy of Loviatar, the Maiden of Pain, who we'll get to later. Love Loviatar. All right.
Okay.
So, Mr. Loth, tell me what's going on.
So we've just ported to in Waterdeep. All of the crew members, all of the nameless crew members, which round it and the nine named crew members that you received information on. It's a crew of approximately 60 people. With a magic ship, you don't need a lot, but it is reasonable. Just a random ragtag bunch of just whatever crew members, like all races, and we are currently collecting our latest haul, and we are going to be taking it to meet with our distributor.
Okay.
I currently am sitting. I'm helping out. Carrying bags and setting up, while the first mate, One Eye, named for the fact that he was born with one eye, is a little on the nose, I know, but he's overseeing it in his very militant-esque, standing straight, arms behind his back, kind of just authoritative look, basically. And we're making our way to where we have to meet the distributor.
Okay. Well, you're headed to the Divine District, to the Temple of Ilmater. So,
I will say that the cargo is kind of like we put it in bags, so no one kind of gets weird. Like they just think we're a bunch of pirates with our knapsacks coming to port, basically.
Well, interesting thing about Waterdeep, almost nothing here seems unusual. You can smell the air. It has the usual scent of dung, But there's also the spices of 1,000 lands, and you hear 1,000 different languages being spoken. So they see a lot here.
Okay. Yeah, that works.
Yeah. Okay. So that brings us to Kaidian.
Cadian.
Cadian, sorry.
That's fine.
I read Chinese. Leave me alone.
No worries.
I didn't say Kaidian.
Okay, so this is going to be before the going to the boat part. Alright, so that would mean that we're at the academy at the time before we get our assignment to go find the boat. So currently, Cadian is probably just in the library, just frantically scribbling, like looking at a book and frantically just writing it down in one of his journals. Instead of checking it out, he puts it in his own journal. Information that he wants.
All right, so may I interject a character here in the library because you're in the perfect place for this encounter.
Okay.
A tall, he's immensely tall. He's almost 7 feet tall. Human man of middle age with neatly trimmed black hair and a black beard and mustache. Approaches you and he's like, "Are you Cadian?"
Pardon?
Is your name Cadian boy?
Oh, it is.
Very good. I am Kelban Aronson, and I have need of your skills.
What skills in particular would that be?
Your tutors have told me that you have an interest in wildlife. Flora and fauna, is this correct?
Depending on the wildlife, and indefinitely.
Do you like animals, and will you record them in a book?
That is precisely what I do, yes.
Very good. I hope your writing style is somewhat less obtuse than your speaking.
I can guarantee that much.
Very good. One can only hope. So the question now becomes, can you record plants and animals and various naturalistic information? Yes or no?
Yes.
Good. Your tutors assure me you are quite gifted in this. So then, I will pay you 500 gold pieces per book of creatures and plants you return to me with, here in Waterdeep.
And that is a very big incentive to do so.
Yes, that is enough, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Oh, good. I so seldom do this. I usually send apprentices, but I have them cleaning up. So anyway, you can bring me this information. And also, if you will keep a special journal of venoms, poisons, and whatnot.
Venoms and poisons. This I can do.
Also, if you find the antidotes, list those as well.
This I can also do.
Good. The healers of Waterdeep will use your work quite extensively.
Alright, so Tina, I've taken to starting writing stuff down.
Excellent.
I actually bought a notebook for this, specifically.
Good.
So would you mind
Excellent.
telling me this man's name?
Kelben, Kelben, Aronson. And his nickname is the Black Staff, and he is one of the mightiest wizards of Waterdeep.
Oh. The Black Staff.
Yeah. He was a famous adventurer, fought in several wars that won Waterdeep its independence. So
Oh.
he's
500 gold pieces per book. Well, animal... Well, creature, not just animal. Sorry, creature.
Yeah.
Sorry, am I all right to ask a question at this point?
You are.
I'm just curious if this is a previous character you're recycling? Because I know you say you use recycled characters a lot in your...
Actually, no. This was this character was not one of mine when I played with. This is a stock character from the Forgotten Realms. The original player was a guy named Clyde Caldwell who drew who did a bunch of paintings for the D&D box set. So yeah, all of the super famous characters like Mordenkainen and Kelvin Aronson and Elminster, those are all TSR people. Those were their characters when they first played. So yeah.
Okay, I've got that written down. That is an
Excellent.
important thing to know.
Yes. All right. So he's very pleased, and he assures you that as long he gives you a signet ring, and says that you may, even though you are not in the academy at this point right now, as you're about to leave it, at any point you may get access to it or any of the libraries in Waterdeep using that ring.
Oh. I need to write that down too.
Yeah. It's not magical, it's just his signet.
Alright. Signet ring. Sorry, it takes me a bit to write things.
No, you're fine. You're fine.
And it's specifically access to libraries in Waterdeep.
Yes.
He is in love with that, by the way.
And also, you might be able to get into Candlekeep with it.
Oh, Candlekeep.
You will probably have to do some talking to do that.
Okay.
All right. So, what else are you going to do now that I've interjected your first tie to the world?
I mean, to be fair, that's me saying that was kind of an invitation for someone to walk up.
Oh, would that be me?
Well, you can, yeah.
Ellie?
I didn't know if you had an intention for somebody in particular.
Oh, no one in particular, no.
So, okay, so remind me, because I'm having a brain moment right now. Squishy. We've already obviously gone on stuff, so we would know each other, right?
Yes, we've seen each other in classes, and we have gone on one, possibly two missions before. Assignments, that is.
Okay. So we'd have that familiarity. So Jolly just comes up and says, "Hey, haven't seen you in a few days. What's going on?
Apologies. I have been going through my druid training. Lots of meditation involved with that, as you know.
Yes. Were we still looking at going on that trip we talked about?
Yes, it should be... They should give us the paperwork for it today, they said.
Okay. I couldn't remember. Oh, sorry. I see that you're with somebody. I apologize for interrupting. I'll let you give about your business, but I guess I will see you back at the academy then later.
Absolutely. By the way, when I said in the library, I did mean the one in the academy.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So you're in the academy. No worries.
Damn it. Like awkwardly thinking we're back at the thing. Okay, never mind then. Let's so we can redo scene.
It would be funny if your character said, "Oh yeah, we're in the academy," and walked off.
It's like, oh, wait a minute. Oh, we're already here. Yeah, I'm just gonna go over there and study that book I was supposed to be studying. Come scram, come bumble.
Incidentally, Yeah, and they follow obviously. So another thing, just to kind of throw in there, if Cadian and Jolly want this, you could always put down somewhere on your character sheets that unpleasant Fandelver experience.
Fandelver?
Yeah, it's like the intro 5e. It's like the one everybody seems to have played, except like people that play with me. But yeah, Fandelver is just further south near Neverwinter.
Oh.
So that would have been the perfect place to go on a mission.
Okay, then probably two, because we did have one where we went down to the sewers of Waterdeep to take care of were-rats.
That's the inspiration for Scrim.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Scrim was used in that incident. So, but yes, so I awkwardly go away pretending to try and find some kind of book.
Beautiful. Take an inspiration point.
Cackle.
By the way, what does that do again? I know what Bardic does.
No, this inspiration it's kind of the thing almost nobody uses, but I love it. It's kind of like a fate point. You can re-roll something, or you can use it to help someone. If you've got it and you want to say somebody's close to death or something, and you want them to re-roll their death save, you can say, I'm using inspiration.
Oh, okay, I gotcha.
To help them. Yeah. Alrighty. So that brings us over to Oz.
Yes, I think Ozzy would be kind of making his way into Waterdeep. So like cresting over a hill or whatever, and then seeing the town and looking for a port or.
Well, you have arrived. You have arrived at Waterdeep, the largest port city in the north, and it's also called the Shining Jewel of the North. The city seems to stretch on for as far as the eye can see. As you approach the eastern gate, some guards look at you and say, "What's your business, dwarf?"
Looking to commission a ship.
Ship, All right. Well, you're going to want to go down to the docks. Mind yourself. Avoid the poor quarter if you can.
Many things, and he'll like put his hand over his chest and like bow his head and make his way in.
All right. So you're making your way in. It is a massive. Just the city is bustling. This is more people than you've ever seen together at one time in your entire life. And as you are walking through the streets, there's the smell of a bakery. There's people hawking jewelry, hawking gems. You catch a glimpse of what you think is a dwergar, and he looks familiar. He slips into an alleyway.
Ozzy will follow and try to grab his attention when he can.
Okay, you follow. You see the dwergar moving toward the end of the alley with purpose. And how do you grab his attention?
I think he will. You know when you put your fingers, like 2 fingers in your lips, and you whistle real loud?
Mm-hmm.
He's going to do that.
All right. The dwergar turns, looks at you. May I help you?
Yeah, where are you going?
So blunt.
To my lodgings. And who are you that asks me?
They have more lodgings for dwarves.
I'm certain they do. Would you like to accompany me?
Absolutely.
Very good. All right, so he takes you to an inn in what looks to be a very poor quarter of the city. And this inn, it doesn't even have a name. It's just the sign is illegible at this point. It's dirty. There's 2 inches of peanut shells and grime on the floor. And he's like, "So what is your name, seeker of lodging?"
Nozir is my name. And yours?
Beryl.
Pleasure.
Now, are you a mountain dwarf or a hill dwarf?
I'm a mountain dwarf.
So, here we are, enjoying each other's company. What are you, Why did you flag me down, Nozir?
Oh, well, I saw another of my kind and always like to make new friends.
I am Dwerger. You are a mountain dwarf. You are not my kind.
Sure we are. At one time we were the same.
That is the story, I am told.
Exactly. Can we not be peaceful?
I am being peaceful.
Exactly. So, I just thought it was interesting to see you around here. You come around here often?
Only when I'm on business.
What business?
I am in charge of importing and exporting.
What kind of importing and exporting?
Goods, services, whatever my principal requires.
I'm sorry, who requires?
My principal, employer of the moment.
Okay. Can I meet him?
And why do you want to meet them, mountain dwarf?
Why wouldn't I want to meet someone new?
No one is as stupid as you pretend to be.
I think at that point, like, are we around people?
Yeah, you're in a bar filled with really, really tough looking customers.
Are there any more of the Durgers there?
Nope, just him.
Okay, so I'm going to quick strike. I'm not going to hit him with any weapons, but he's going to get a mouthful of fisticuffs.
Okay, roll initiative, please.
All right,
Oh,
that's me. He does not have good initiative, by the way. He rolled a 10.
Okay. All right, so you actually get the drop and you hit him. You punch him in the mouth.
I thought that was just initiative, and not rolling for hitting.
Once again, we're not in like, well, we're not in dead-on combat. He doesn't really stop you. He takes the strike. He's like,
Oh, okay.
now that wasn't very friendly, now was it?
There's another strike followed up. Like, I want to get him, like, prone almost.
All right, so now he's fighting back. Against the first three. So he has hit you with a 22.
That hits.
Yeah, that hits.
Do you have your shield out, by the way?
No, I mean, it's just, we're just hand to hand right now.
Okay.
At least I am.
All right, so now what I need you to do is make a Constitution saving throw, difficulty 19.
Oh.
Oh no.
No.
Oh no.
Nope.
Oh no.
That's a nope.
Oh no.
He does a complicated nerve strike that renders you paralyzed.
Oh
Oh.
no. Oh no.
Damn it,
Not
Ozzy!
friendly at all. Now, what he does is he takes your purse.
Oh no.
Well, he only
Rude.
gets like 19 gold. So, I mean, I don't have-
But he pats you on the shoulder and says, "Better luck next time, my friend."
Can I speak?
Yeah, you can speak.
I speak to him in Dwarvish, letting him know that I will kill him and that I have a memory.
Oh boy.
Yes.
I have a memory.
Your memory, hang on. Your memory is not so good. Your clansman. What is your clan again? Mountain Dwarf?
I don't have a name for it.
It's probably Ironside. Your last name is Ironside.
Yeah.
Yes. The Ironside children died particularly quick that night. Have a wonderful evening.
What?
Would that trigger like anger to get out of that, or?
Unfortunately, no. He's now escaped into the crowd, and you're going to get out of it in a moment. But your anger is stoked. You have a lead.
I'm tracking him, or I'm going to try to at least.
Are you a ranger?
No, but I don't I have specialties whenever I can find people.
Yes, but not currently.
Okay. Well, I'm still gonna run off in the direction that he went.
Aren't you paralyzed?
Well, unfortunately, yeah. Well, no. Once he gets up, but he's long gone. Unfortunately.
Yeah, there's probably some broken stools in the bar then.
I mean, right then, the only thing you could do while paralyzed is, I guess, your bird could attack him, but he couldn't do very much to him, to be fair.
No, I'm not letting my bird attack him.
All right. As you're laying there, a rather large half ogre comes up and goes, "You okay?"
Fine, just my pride.
All right, so the half ogre goes behind the bar, pulls out a greasy-looking wooden box, and he pulls out some dirty-looking gauze. It's really there's blood on it, and he's like, "Which part pride?"
Well, I'm sorry, I didn't hear what you saying.
Which part pride?
I don't need that.
Oh,
But thank
also
you.
try to help.
I appreciate it.
So you now have kind of a contact at the bar named Otto the Half Ogre.
Otto the Half Ogre. Love it.
You need me to write that down for you?
Yeah, that'd be great.
Alright, I'll put that under allies for you. In the unnamed bar in Waterdeep.
Well, it's the bar. Well, actually, we can call it the Dead Rat Bar because there was a dead rat outside.
It may not be there in a week, so
Well, we can always call it the Dead Rat Bar.
Okay. I'll put that in parentheses. There we go.
Alright, so after Otto has tended to you, a young barmaid sidles up and helps you up and dusts you off and says, "Unfortunately, it looks like that fella, he knocked you out pretty good, didn't he?"
Yeah, he's tricky. I don't know what he did, but he's gonna pay for it dearly.
Oh dear. He's part of the Assassin's Guild. You better be careful.
Oh.
Ooh.
Oh boy.
I think that statement needs to be reversed. He needs to be careful.
Thank you, Phil.
Oh gosh. She brings you a tankard of kind of horrible ale, but she's like, it's on the house.
Ozzy smiles and starts to drink.
It's bad luck to charge dying men.
I'll bring him back here for you so you can have something to hang on your walls later.
You can talk to the owner about that. I just work here.
Okay.
And what's your name, Sir Dwarf?
Nozir Ironside.
Oh, my name is Mia Bella.
You said Mia Bella?
Mia Bella.
Okay. Pleasure to meet you, Mia Bella.
You have a good one. And she heads back to work in the bar. All right. So, wow, that was exciting. It's all right.
Cyrus.
Cyrus, sorry.
Cyrus, yes.
Cyrus, yes. Cyrus.
It's fine. No one has like said theirs out loud, really. So.
Yeah. Well, this is still early days, so Cyrus is currently at Arius's estate, but Arius and Enid would be out. They've probably been away for a week, and this is the time where Cyrus is packing his things to run away. And he's going to go to Grelmek's chambers. Actually, he's already packed. He's going to Grelmek's chambers, and he's opening it slowly to see if the aging orc is awake.
He opens one eye. What do you want, young Master Cyrus?
It's a girl neck.
I wanted to see how you were doing.
You will need to improve your lying skills.
Yeah, I guess I
What
need
do you
to.
need of me?
I've decided to go away for a bit.
Where are you going? The Hell Furnaces?
To find myself.
You are right here.
Yes, I'm right here. And you're right here.
Yes.
How do you still have that fight left in you?
Depends. Are you asking if I will try to kill you? Probably not. If you're asking I will clout you about the head, probably.
Yeah, you're still the same. That's good. Well, he doesn't know how long Grelmek's going to live for.
So you want to leave the estate, and I'm assuming you do not want your father to know.
Well, yeah, or my brother. The brother being the main one. He's
all right.
ruling
Then
like
I will not let your brother know.
Okay. And he's going to embrace Grolmek.
Grolmek, his eyes get big, and then he like pat, pat, pat. Very good.
He says goodbye. He says goodbye, Uncle Grelmek.
Goodbye, Cyrus. Perhaps you should take something with you.
Oh?
Grelmek goes into a chest, and he manages to fish out it's a thin longsword.
Ooh. Okay.
It is of elvish make.
Ooh.
It is a longsword +1, and he tells you the command word to make it burst into flame.
Ooh.
Ooh.
All right. Let me just.
Flaming longsword +1.
flaming longsword. +1 elven
Does an additional
maid.
1d6 fire damage. And Grelmek is
Uh,
like, I carried that with me as a backup weapon. It's not as good as an axe, but you seem to like them.
I do like them, yes.
Once your father and I beat up an ogre with a table leg.
Yes, father did many things, didn't he?
He still does.
My brother's not the adventuring type, is he? He never will be. Too politically minded.
May I speak freely, young Cyrus?
Well, I'm leaving anyway, so it doesn't matter to me.
He is weak-blooded. I think he needs to go out and be punched several times. Humility.
I wish that was so, but what can we do? It's not as if we're going to live any longer anyway.
Mm. Perhaps I should take him out and punch him several times. This might make him a better person.
No, you'd have to find a way for him not to tell father about it.
I think your father would be amused.
I'm sure he would be.
Besides, I remember when your father almost died at the hands of a halfling.
Oh my god.
Perhaps I should call the halfling to beat up your brother.
I think he would kill him in that instance. At least my father survived. Just thanks to Varg. Varg saved him. As much as father keeps telling us how he dropped him.
Varg's ears are burning at this moment, just so you know.
By the way, Josh, where did you write that down at?
I wrote it in bio for now.
Oh, okay. Can you click somewhere else so I can see it? And so I can copy it and put it into your attacks?
Yeah. I'll post it in the Discord for you.
Okay.
At that point, he's going to leave and head out of the door sneakily out of the estate and run and use the spell gemmer that's on his braid.
Okay. All right. So.
Well,
Spelljammer is a ship.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Whatever it was, the teleporting device he got from Varg's father.
Okay. Yes, that'll work. Yeah.
Oh, before he left a note on his father's desk saying, "Sorry, I stole your sword, your crossbow bag of holding, or one of your crossbows."
Nice.
Yeah, he stole it. That's why he has these things.
But he hasn't stolen any money.
At least Grelmek gave you the sword.
Yes. He's stolen one of Aris's swords, not that crossbows, not one of the best ones, just a standard one, the one he uses for training.
Tina, where do I put the +1 part? Is it in the attack or the damage?
It's in both.
Oh, okay.
You get +1 attack and +1 damage.
Oh, sweet. And it also does flame as well?
1d6 fire damage. Yeah.
Okay. 1, 6.
So yeah, after that he's running away. No, he's also left a nice cuddly toy for his sister. He's jealous of his sister, but he also cares for his sister as well. So he's left like
Nice.
a teddy that can be enchanted by her.
Nice.
And then poof, he's gone.
All right. So now, how did you come to be in Waterdeep?
we did figure out that Waterdeep is the one of the main hubs in the Sword Coast where spelljammers land. So
Okay, so you teleported away. You
Mhm.
hired a spelljammer ship from Greyhawk, which would most likely have been gnomish.
Mhm.
So you are coming out of the port and kind of sick of muffins, because for some reason all gnomish spelljammer ships, they don't carry rations like any sensible people. They seem to just have these muffin buttons that produce a random muffin.
Although he can't eat much, but Cinnamon has been trying to. Because Cinnamon certainly loves loves little quirky things like that.
God, there's gonna be a muffin button on my ship, isn't there?
That's up to you. It's your ship.
Can
I'm just talking
Cinnamon
about what
eat?
gnomes do.
Cinnamon can't eat, but Cinnamon enjoys pushing the button.
Okay.
I mean, most of the time the blueberry muffins were good, but sometimes when it was like peppercorns and sardine muffins, that was a
Oh,
little weird.
ew. Ew, sardine muffins.
All
Yeah,
right,
but
so you are. Go ahead.
I was going to say throughout the journey he's been writing and doodling.
Yes, it is. It's a tightly run ship by the Gnomish Space Marines. Um, you just remember you didn't want to. They told you do not go anywhere near the hamster. Did you go near the hamster?
Cinnamon might have gone near the hamster. Probably just
All right.
splattered themselves on the glass and kept re-emerging, splattering on the window back and forth.
I'm gonna say Cinnamon was probably pretty quiet because that hamster had a lot of tentacles. And then you found out that gnomes use various monsters to breed with their space hamsters.
Yeah, he probably wrote that down.
Yes, you even hear of a legendary ship that has a giant psionic beholder hamster.
Okay.
Okay,
Where
so
does
you are
the
in
ship?
Waterdeep.
Okay, the ship landed in water.
It's landed in Waterdeep. They are taking on various items to take back to Orth. And so you are now on the world of Toril.
Okay.
And there are weird blue and gold skinned elves here. Not at all like you.
Well, Arius was platinum skinned and Cyrus is, well, he's not, he doesn't have colourful skin.
Opalescent, you said.
Opalescent. It's opalescent, yeah.
Alright, so you are currently near the spell jamming port.
Hmm.
Where do you want to go? What is your first order of business here in the beautiful, beautiful town of Waterdeep?
Find some actual food.
No
Alright,
muffin?
No muffins, no!
you find your way to the largest inn near the spelljamming port, which is the inn of the Yawning Portal. Um, upon entering, you notice there is, true to its name, a giant, what looks like a jet black whirlpool in the center of the common room. It's got ropes around it, so hopefully you don't jump in. But but yes, you're here, and people are several barmaids come up and say, New? You're new, are you?
Yeah, I'm new. I'm new.
Hmm. Uh, what would you like to eat?
What what's the house special?
Okay, so next thing you know, you are given a large helping of boiled crabs over rice.
Hmm,
Mmm.
Ooh.
okay.
Nummy.
Eat that one.
It's soft-shelled crabs covered with chili flakes and rice, and they're like, that
Okay.
there's Maztecan chili.
Ooh.
Okay.
Well,
That's so nummy.
I mean, Cyrus is used to good food anyway, so this is good. And Cinnamon's there just watching, playing around.
Floating like a crazy thing that most people probably haven't seen.
Yeah, he's probably flying over the whirlpool out of curiosity, and yeah,
And just starts flying in circles like Mew.
yeah. Why not? Just whee. While Cyrus is just eating and he's taking out his
The
sketchbook.
barkeep, a man with a big slicked back black hair and a big black handlebar mustache comes up. He's got one leg. He's like, "You want to keep your critter away from the portal. Go
Yeah,
straight down to Undermountain. You'll never find him again. Hell, I didn't get out except with one leg."
really? How
Yep.
did how did that occur?
Bit off
By what?
a deep dragon.
Oh. And
So
then for
call
that
your
it's
critter away from the portal.
and he does, and Cinnamon comes back and just then Cinnamon splatters himself on the walls and just starts running around the walls as like moving art, transforming himself into different
Yeah.
art styles as he's running around.
Well, he's delighting a group of children. They are so happy. Um, they think he's the greatest thing they've ever seen. All right. So that brings us back to Mr. Luff.
Yes.
So you have arrived at the Temple of Ilmater, and you see the Gwendolyn. She's one of the clean-shaven dwarf women, um, and she's got long reddish hair. And she greets you. She's like, "Hello again, Captain."
What was? How do you say her name?
Gwendolyn
And what was her last name?
Redhammer. She's a hill dwarf, so she's got kind of a Minnesota accent in my mind. How are you doing, Captain?
I muted myself. Dang it.
Oh.
um, he's going to give his contagiously joyous smile and just be like, Madam Wethammer, how are you?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. I see you brought some donations.
Yes, long haul from the last pirate that passed by, I'm afraid.
Oh, well, I'm so glad that you were able to redistribute some of that wealth out to the poor here.
What I do.
All right, so she actually gives you a care package of 6 healing potions.
Oh.
The least I can do for you and your brave crew.
Your gratitude is...
Gratitude is what? You kind of cut out.
for your gratitude.
Oh, we lost Chad.
Oh, we did lose Chad.
Hopefully he'll be home momentarily. All right, so yeah, so anyway, so she begins asking you questions. She's like, Captain, could I impose on you for just a little bit of a favor? Because you know people, and you're probably better at talking to people than I am.
Of course, Miss Redhammer, what would you like?
Well, some of my folks here in the poor quarter, they're disappearing.
Peering.
Yeah, ain't heard a lot, but you know, maybe you could find find out what's happening to them. I mean, hopefully they're going someplace nice or something, but I don't know. I have a bad feeling about this.
Well, can't really say much. I've never really done much for land work. And you've already tried other hired.
Oh gosh, you're the only person I know that's I guess I could go to the academy and ask for some folks. But I just trust you.
Hmm. He's gonna turn over to turn to One Eye. Just, Mr. One Eye, send the rest of the crew back to the ship. I will stay here with Miss Redhammer and discuss further. And he's gonna turn back to Gwen and ask for further information.
Well, I'm not real sure about too much. I know that there were 10 or 15 of the little kids that live in the orphanage down the way. They never came home for dinner. So I mean, I could grab my mace and go out and look, but
No.
I don't know. I just figured you might know better.
Right. Again, I would have a little bit more knowledge of the sea than I would land,
But you know pirates, right? And I was afraid somebody was taking them and putting them on a ship. I mean, that happens, right?
of course it does, especially in Waterdeep when there's a port right there.
Yeah. Gwen's kind of ditzy. She's nice, but ditzy.
Let me write that in the note here.
That she's ditzy.
Nice, but ditzy. Okay. Well, Miss Redhammer, let me discuss with my crew, and we'll see what we can do.
Oh, thank you, Captain. Otherwise, like I said, I'll send a message to the Academy and see what they say.
Of course. Maybe
And
they
probably use some of this gold to pay them.
That's what it's there for. See if they can handle any transactions on land. See if they can pick up a cent around here, so to speak. And we'll worry about what could have happened on the sea.
All right. Okay, so now Cadian and Jolly.
Yes.
Yes.
I am assuming y'all are together eating, because it's about dinner time at this stage. Thank you, Josh, for putting that in my mind. When Cadian, your instructor, mentor, terrorizer, a halfling named Mariposa Denline. She's a fairly well-respected druid, but she has very little patience.
Oh, I already had a druid on the NPCs list for that.
Well, I know. This is the head instructor.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Of the academy, not your main.
Oh.
She's your main instructor, not your instructor.
Okay, I gotcha.
So Mariposa, her hair in a bun so tight it looks like it's going to pop any moment. She comes up in that very businesslike fashion. She's like, "You there, Cadian?"
That is me.
Yes, I know it's you. That's why I said your name.
I
Oh
assumed
my
as
god,
such.
she's a Minerva.
And you there, she points to Jolly. What's your name? You're in the Gonsman's class. What is it?
It.
Gond is the god of inventions.
It. My name is It. Don't tell him.
I could have sworn you had another name.
Just a
You're not
peculiar
supposed to tell him.
demonym.
Okay, well, my friends call me Jolly.
What do people who aren't your friends call you?
That thing.
Thing?
That thing.
All right, you and that thing.
Okay.
I need you to go to the Temple of El Mater.
He immediately just looks at his map.
Go to
Yes, you're going to go there. Apparently, there are some missing poor people.
Missing poor people. Well, that's
Missing-
just...
I hate to disagree with your judgment, but we're not necessarily the best trackers here.
No, but you do have experience in the sewers. And after that were-rat incident, I figured...
We can
What-
search the sewers.
I mean, I could send the, scrim.
Yes, whatever you call that metal thing. Send it.
Excuse
of
me.
course.
No.
Yeah.
Correction. I am referred to as that thing. That is scrim. We do not call scrim that thing, please. Thank you very much.
She gets a look. She lowers her spectacles and pinches the bridge of her nose. And Mariposa's like, "Oh, the bitch queen preserve me. All right." Jolly takes Scrim and go down. I don't care if you go into the sewers. Just find out if it's were-rats.
This we
Okay.
should be able to do.
Yeah, we can do that.
Well,
Come, scrim.
She
Let's
then
go.
turns on her heel and strides off.
She has a kind of Professor McGonagall type feel to her.
only more angry.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really funny.
I just based her on my Latin instructor in high school. So. She used to somebody would say, like, I once said to her, "I'm sorry," and she just looked at me and said, "I know you are. Correct your deficiencies."
um,
Wow.
so Cadian just kind of looks at his city map and just kind of points the direction. It appears to be this way. Just
You
walks
lead the
without
way.
looking up, but somehow it's still going the right way.
Alrighty. So you are making your way through the streets of Waterdeep when is Chad back yet?
Nope, he is not.
Okay. All right. So when you happen to run upon, so after your fine meal, Cyrus, after your
Yes.
fine meal, do you decide to look around the
Well,
city a bit?
he noticed the children enjoying the dancing or the transformations that Cinnamon was doing, so he's doing a bit of busking outside for children's entertainment with his lute.
Beautiful. All right. And
But
you managed to make. You've made a total of 3 gold pieces.
yay!
Well, considering most people only carry silver and copper, that's pretty good.
That
He
is
now
pretty
has
good.
93, and he's worked it himself. He didn't rely on inheritance, so he's pretty proud about that.
Okay, so Jolly and Katie, and you see this peculiar looking half elf, his peculiar looking creature, playing music about weird alien people you've never heard of.
I like him.
At first, at first, Cadian is at first, Cadian is
Jolly?
just like walk. Oh, sorry.
Jolly, this kid looks awfully familiar.
Jolly just sits there and stares and scratches her ears and forehead. Just sits there pondering. And of course, Scrim starts mimicking the movement.
Okay.
And I'm just like, hey, I think I know him, but my brain is bread. It's mushy.
Well,
Where do I know
in
him
defense,
from?
when you knew Arius, your brain was worms, so...
It's true. It's an
So,
improvement.
so for a
I
moment,
think
Cadian was just about to walk past him, just keeping his eyes on the map. But then she said something, and he looked over, and he just immediately looks at Cinnamon.
No. And I see what you're looking at. It's not the cinnamon. It's the other the thing. Yeah, I am.
The
Um,
the elf person
yes.
that appears to be sitting there.
I'm much smarter than I am making myself out to be today. Like I said, my brain is mush today. I've done too much studying. I need to get away from the library more often. Yes, I think I know him. Let's go over. Let's go talk to him.
It's a bit of a diversion from our task, but very well.
Yeah, but
So, Cyrus, you recognize a peculiarly living version of a person you remember this weird old cat, or weird unaging cat woman that your father called Jolly? But this person seems to be much more alive and has weird metal things with her.
I think at this point, Cinnamon would be more interested in the little things that are dotting around, and Cyrus continues to play his lute and allows Cinnamon to drag Jolly's two little companions into playing around with him, dancing and whatnot.
Plus fissure.
Now see my just point of fact, Scrim, not so much. Bumble, yes. Bumble would be very much intrigued. Scrim is very
Well, Cinnamon doesn't know about that. He tries Scrim, but it doesn't work. But
yes, okay. Scrim just looks at the his nose.
That drawing
which
of
is-
Scrim makes me think he looks on disapprovingly.
Yes, very much. Yes, very much. Disapproving glare, like what I don't go away, whatever you are. But yes, definitely Bumble would be very much intrigued and want to play as well.
And
So
Fissure is floating around in a very somewhat similar spiritual way to how Cinnamon is.
There's a little bit of entertainment, a growing audience, growing theatrical performance.
Ice and paint.
All right. hang
Ice,
on.
paint, and goo.
Where's the goo?
Well, it's metal, isn't it, Bumble? Bumble's metal.
Yep.
All right. So after a while, a crowd has gathered around all three of you, and you've made 17 more gold pieces.
Yeah!
They've been thrown into whatever you're catching your take in, Cyrus.
Oh, his hat. He's using his hat.
Okay, they've thrown 17 more gold pieces in your hat.
I'm not
Which
comfortable with
actually,
this
it's
code.
It's really like 173 silver. So it's a lot of silver coin.
I'm just gonna put that in silver. I think that'll be easier.
No, gold
Yeah.
would be easier to calculate it.
Yeah. Gold would be easier?
Yeah. She gave
Okay,
you the
so-
worth of gold, so like...
Okay. So in total it's 110 I have now. Gold.
All
Okay.
right, so you've made some money. Now people are starting to head inside the yawning portal, so the crowd's starting to break up.
Yeah, that's when Cyrus decides to stop. He puts his loot back in the bag of hold. Arius's bag of holding.
Possession is 9/10 of the law. Anyway,
Pardon me, half-elf sir.
Yes, but what?
My compatriot here appears to recognize you.
I mean, Cyrus knows, vaguely knows, but he says, "Sorry, I don't know her."
what's your father's name, son?
beautiful. That was
My-
perfect.
My father was no one. I don't have a father here, so yeah. It was nice meeting you, and he starts to wander off.
And I say out his name because it all of a sudden hits me. It was
Arius Syrian.
Arius, wasn't it? Or isn't it?
He stops. He turns slightly, and he carries on walking. A quicker pace this time.
The name's Jolly. I know you know me.
Oh, he
Your dad
doesn't
would-
care. He doesn't care. He's scared right now because he thinks you're an agent of his father.
It appears he
So,
doesn't like you
Mr.
very
Locke.
much.
Mr. Locke, do you want Cyrus to bump into you at this point?
He's trying to leave and I'd be coming in, I guess, and like he just
Yep.
he just walks straight right into my chest, basically.
Right as he is talking to Jolly, saying, "Nope, no one." But
Just get a face full of scaly breastplate, basically. I'm gonna check your nose, see if it's broken.
I could fix that. Maybe. Maybe a little mechanical, but I could fix it.
I could possibly fix it better.
Yeah, you're
Cyrus at this point is getting really agitated and anxious, and he just belts it now.
probably should have told him that I haven't seen his father in years, shouldn't I?
So he ran out of the And
He quickly apologized to Mr. F, and he left.
All right.
So
As you're leaving, go ahead. Sorry, Mr. Lutz.
yeah, Mr. Last just kind of turns to the side a little bit, just watches him like leave a little bit bewildered, and like just looks back and just goes, "Huh."
As you turn to the side, you see someone that you know. He's a big gold dragonborn named Lorik Cutbelly, and he is a terrible person. He's a pirate, smuggler, and will do any dirty job for a buck.
Next to my ex.
Wait, do you want him to be your ex?
I
will do that. I will do that right now. I mean, I just made this character, but if you want this character to be Mr. Lot's ex, it would be glorious.
Please do.
Right. I was just saying something because I thought it was funny. And it's not how that works.
It is funnier, but it can be funnier.
Okay. All right. So this is gonna be great.
All right, so the gold dragonborn smiles at you. Cadian, you're probably noticing a half dragon and a dragonborn now talking.
Very much so. He was going to continue following the map, but he's just stopped in his tracks now. Just standing, staring, not doing anything other than that. Big eyes.
Do we know this guy's name?
You know it. Yeah, he's your ex.
Well, I think he wants to write it down.
Oh, Lorik Cutbelly.
L-O-R?
Lorik. I mostly just spell everything phonetically, so you're not gonna butcher it. I'm using hooked on phonics over here, so don't worry about the spelling.
Okay.
All right, so Lorik grins at you and he says, "Well, looky here. How's it going, Pookie?"
Okay.
Mr. Left just flips his head sideways and scoffs, disgusted. Like, what are you doing here, Lorik?
I happen to be meeting with someone who's going to hire me to do a few jobs.
Oh, have you? Waterdeep.
You still working to save the world?
Yes, actually.
Let me know how that goes.
Believe me, when it happens, you'll be the first to know.
It's one thing I always love about you. You're an adorable fool. Let me buy you a drink, Mr. Locke.
You bought me a drink once, and I will never do that again.
Yes, I remember.
Cadian's whispering to Jolly, "How do you assume they mate?"
That's not what happened.
I thought you would know.
Cadian, take a point of inspiration.
Just looks over and it's just what?
Why do you always ask these questions and I don't control the level of my voice? Because Jolly has forgotten how to use the inside voice. So, why do you always ask these questions of me? I'm supposed to know that answer.
Mr. Lath,
I do mechanical things, not people.
Mr. Lath is actually going to like slowly like walk over and like slightly bend down to be eye level with Cadian, with a bit of a smirk on his face, and just be like, "I'm a virgin."
Then, can you describe how you assume?
Everything's internal.
Ah, writes that down.
Interesting fellow you are.
That's very interesting. I'm intrigued. Maybe we should buy them drinks.
I would like to see if he could draw it for me. So yes.
Ale.
Interesting little guy.
The barmaid comes up. May I help you?
Yeah, we'd like the finest ale, please.
Could I have
Okay.
wine?
Finest ale. Yeah, sure.
Fine.
Finest
Look.
ale, finest wine.
Yes, yes.
He brings out
Well,
his own
within reason.
tankard.
Within reason, I do have a limited budget. I should probably rethink the finest part. What do you got
Maybe
for?
you should.
Miss.
Yeah.
Well, wait, Mr. Lath. I think I started with 100 gold because I'm a pirate, right?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'll buy I'll.
That would buy one of the finest ale.
I will have your most mediocre wine.
I'll have something that will kill me.
Is this in the
Okay.
is this in the same tavern that Cyrus was in?
Yes. There are signs in Elvish, Common, Orcish, Draconic, and in what appears to be Abyssal, and it says, "Mind the portal, no magic indoors. Have a nice day."
So Cadian brings out his own tankard. It has not an indention. What's the word of a picture that kind of comes forward? That's the opposite of an indention.
A relief.
Yes, that. It has a relief of a stern-looking dwarf's face. And anything alcoholic you pour into it makes it non-intoxicating.
Nice. Okay, so yeah, you now have it. She's poured the most mediocre wine, and Jolly, you now have a glass of something that will not kill you.
Okay. I very gingerly stick one of my fingers claws in it, and then like taste it.
It's delicious.
I get very suspicious, and I hand it over to Scrim and say, "Hey, drink this." Forgetting for a second that he's a steel defender and can't drink.
Mm-hmm.
But yes. So
Why-
I give it to
why
him
do
to
I-
drink.
So why am I picturing Jolly like taking the glass and pulling a the doctor from Treasure Planet where he just just uses his tongue?
Yes.
Just like
That's exactly it. That's my favorite. That's like that
Stupid
and
Link.
Atlantis are my two favorite Disney movies, and they're underrated. Anyway, so yes. That's that move right there.
Sorry, my mic wasn't working for a second. I just had to make sure it was.
Okay. All right. So, yeah, y'all are in the yawning portal now. Cyrus, you're out in the streets of Waterdeep, and it is after dark.
Yeah, he just wanted to run away, and he's fine now, somewhat. He's catching his breath.
A skinny man with lank, greasy hair looks at you and goes, "How you doing?"
He looks at him. Who wants to know?
Nobody. I'm just being friendly. I'm real friendly.
The Cinnamon's getting an odd feeling about him. and starts hovering over this guy.
All right, so roll a wisdom check for Cinnamon, please.
Okie dokie.
A wisdom check?
Yep.
Not like perception or anything other than that?
Look, perception is wisdom to me, so just do as you will. I don't know skills and I don't use them, so it's just roll wisdom, whatever.
It's just we did think hard about our proficiencies and...
No, I know. That's why I'm trusting you to handle that.
Oh, okay. As long as we figure
When I
out what
say
it is,
roll
we're good.
wisdom, look.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So Cinnamon doesn't see anything out of the ordinary other than this guy. And he's like, "Can I buy you a drink and a meal, sir?"
I've already had a drink and a meal, but thank you for the offer.
That's good. That's good. You ever been to sea? Been on the ship?
I've been on a ship. I haven't been to sea.
I like those clothes. They're fancy and fine.
Yes, and I like the distance we're having right now.
And at that moment, out of the darkness come two young women with lank hair. They're smeared with dirt. They look similar to him, and they're like, "Hello there, love."
Who are you as well? What's this? What's going on?
We're with nobody.
That's nice. Well, I'm just going to go now.
Aw, you just showed up. All right, so what are you gonna do, Cyrus? You are flanked by two odd-looking girls. Welcome back, Chad. Oh wait, he just got back into roll 20.
Hello.
Hello.
Yep, I'm here.
All right. So Ozzy, since you weren't here for a little while, Nozair, what you're going to be doing is the fabulous moment where you're going to come upon these three miscreants. You're tracking that damn Dwergar, and you think you've almost got him, but you come upon a half-elf being menaced by these three greasy, dirty-looking miscreants.
Okay.
There's
The half-elf is Cyrus.
There's a bad echo.
Yeah, I'm trying to work on it.
Also, Josh, you have quite a few spells that might be helpful in this situation.
Yeah, I was just looking over them at the moment. Oh, it's because Chad's on Roll20 as well. His microphone and videos on.
I'm trying to turn everything off.
Oh yeah, there's a there's a setting. You go down to my settings and you can scroll down to.
Oh yeah, I muted it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Problem solved. There we go.
Sorry.
Okay. All right, so Nozair, you actually have surprise on these three if you want to take it.
So it looks like they've cornered young
They
Cyrus.
have surrounded young Cyrus. You don't know he's Cyrus yet, but it's a half-elf. He's cornered, he's wearing nice clothes, and he does not belong in this part of town.
And he looks, I imagine he looks frightened.
Do you look frightened, Cyrus?
Cyrus knows how to put up a fight. He's been trained by Grelmec, by Varg, by his father. He might not be wise to the world, but he knows how to fight.
Seeing that it's 3 against 1, I think Ozzy's just gonna come up behind and, like, with his shield kind of like thrust into The biggest one.
You're going to shield bash the guy who's doing the talking.
Yes.
So what you want to do is make a... Since there's... If you have a shield bash skill, awesome. If not, roll a strength check, add proficiency, go for it. Oh, beautiful. All right. So you come up behind him, and basically you hit him with a bone-crunching blow to his back. He drops to his knees and vomits blood.
Three on one doesn't seem like a fair fight. Now,
all right, at that moment, the two women vanish. They just fade away into the darkness. The guy is laying there clutching himself, going, "Oh, oh."
Arius is Arius? What? No, Cyrus. Cyrus is going to retract his sword and puts it to the guy's neck, and he's going to ask, "Who are you? What do you want?" And Cinnamon, although you can't hear him, he's going to be like mimicking a growl right in his face.
This adorable little creature just trying to be menacing.
Yes.
Just trying to make a gold or two. That's all. That's all. It's gonna rob you. That was it. That was it.
Arius retracts his saws and just kicks his leg. Cyrus, I mean.
He moans and then begins to crawl away.
Cyrus turns to Oz and holds out his hand to shake it. I thank you for your timely appearance.
Ozzy will shake his hand and say, my pleasure. I don't like bullies. I don't like when people pick on other people.
Yeah, I think I took a wrong turn somewhere. It's not my place. It's new to me. Trying to get by, really.
Yeah, same here. I've already had a bad run-in.
The
Dwarger took all my money.
Huh.
I must say,
Well...
Oz doesn't sound as gruff as I thought he would.
I mean, would you rather me talk like this?
Not quite that far.
No.
Dwarger, have my money.
A dwarf man.
Hey, Christian Bale, could you back it off?
I was hoping somebody would sound like Cusco, but that's okay.
Well, Cyrus says to us, "Well, how about I repay you for this at the yawning, what's it called? The yawning spiral portal. The yawning portal."
Would Ozzy know what that is?
Yeah, it's one of the best inns. They've got the best ale in the north.
I could go for a drink.
Would he know about that? He's from... Sorry.
Oh, no, he does. Look, the yawning portal is famous.
Okay.
Adventurers everywhere talk about it. It's where they get jobs. And it's also, like, the cheapest drink there is better than the best drink in most places.
Wow.
Okay, so... Yes, so you two make your way back to the yawning portal.
Although Cyrus is more skittish, well, not skittish, but he's cautious about seeing Jolly again, so he's taking his time.
Alright, so, back to Jolly and Cadian. Y'all are speaking with Mr. Lath, right?
Yes.
Yes.
You two see, as Mr. Lath's talking, as you're talking, you two see that big burly gold dragonborn with his wings folded. He's sitting down and talking to a dwarf in a black cloak. The dwarf has grayish skin.
He has wings?
Yeah.
Ooh. Dragonborn with wings.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. But the dwarf with the gray skin is what would catch Jolly's attention more.
He's a dwergar. He's from the Underdark.
But that would pique her interest because of her desire to learn more about those, alternate places and things where she might be able to find anything to help those that have been afflicted. So that would be a very
Jolly,
big interest for her.
Because of your past life, you speak thieves' cant.
Yes.
And you are you can overhear them talking.
Okay,
and,
so what do
the Dragonborn's like, so you got 200 for me? The dwarf is like, yes, I do. 200 to be delivered tonight.
I lean over and I tell Caden, those two are plotting something. I heard something about 200 tonight. Don't look over there.
Well,
obviously, but
you know I look directly at everything I see, right? I was raised by owls.
That doesn't mean you can turn your head all the way around like an owl.
Yes, but I face the thing I'm looking at. Their eyes can't move in their sockets.
Then ignore what I said, sir.
And you mentioned something about a dwergar.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure I have an idea of how they made. I'm not interested in those.
Yes, there's one of them I'm certain is a dwergar. And based on the fact that I'm being able to understand them from past experience, those two are in the Thieves Guild. They're definitely plotting something. Do you think we should figure out what they're trying to get at on it and see if we can figure out what they're doing and whether we need to warn somebody or something?
Well, considering the Thieves Guild has quite a bit of pull, and I would prefer not to get at odds with them, I would just suggest not getting into their business.
Well, I mean, we technically don't have to get involved. We can definitely observe, and I know how you like to observe.
I like observing interesting creatures.
Well, I find him interesting, and I've observed a lot of creatures with you, so you can give me this one.
All right, you get this one. That is a fair argument.
Okay.
Gorgeous. Mr. Leth, you're hearing this. How do you respond?
Okay. So he's just like listening to this, like just like sipping on his drink, just listening to this conversation, really, like. But he already, like, if he had ears, they would have perked at this point. Oh crap! Lost my train of thought. Sorry. So he's just going to be smirking a tad bit while he's listening to their little banter, and like just clearly very like with Cadian being extremely like inexperienced in this, and already he's intrigued by the aspect that this guy has been raised by owls, and now he would really love to like learn that, figure out how that worked, because Cadian did say owls, he didn't say owl folk.
Yeah.
So in Mr. Laugh's head, he's thinking these tiny little owls raised this elf.
Oh my god, I just thought of the Monarch from Venture Brothers. I'm sorry, go ahead.
And he's also kind of like, but he's also like listening to Jolly, and he just like kind of leans over. He's just like, so what exactly are they talking about?
I'm sorry, I missed that. I couldn't hear you.
What exactly are they talking about?
I don't know if it's my system. I'm having a hard time hearing everybody right now. Let me try
Oh.
something.
Okay.
One second. Okay, say that again.
What exactly are they talking about?
Well, they're talking about, you know, it's coming in tonight and there being 200 pieces. Sounds to me like they're plotting something. I mean, otherwise, why would they not, why would they be being so secretive about it? And what would be worth 200 gold pieces? Something's afoot.
You two haven't been in Waterdeep that long, have you?
I mean, we've been in part of the Adventurers Guild, but we haven't really interacted with, much outside of that because we've been in training and learning, I imagine.
Precisely. We've only gone out for small errands and certain assignments.
Yeah, exactly.
So you wouldn't know shady business if it bit you in the ass.
I mean, we try and steer away from that. I mean, I have a history of things, in the past, but I didn't deal much with Waterdeep in my past, so.
Mr. Left just has this amused, thin smile on his face, just listening to you guys. He's already he finds both of you very interesting.
Okay, at this moment, in walk Cyrus and Nazir and Ozzy. If you've ever seen the movie Kill Bill, when the emergency theme plays, see that Dwerger sitting there talking to a big ass dragonborn. Now, there's a no fighting rule, and there look to be some well trained bouncers here. What do you want to do?
Does he have a drink at his table?
He does.
Cyrus
So,
would have bought it for him.
Okay. Do they both have drinks at their table?
They do.
So Ozzy is going to walk up to them because there's a no fighting rule. And he's gonna grab the Dwarger's drink and he's gonna chug it in front of him. And then I'm gonna grab the Dragonborn's drink and I'm gonna fling it in his face.
Oh boy.
I already like that guy.
Hey,
the Dragonborn wipes his snout and he grins.
No,
I
throw the drink in the Dwarger's face.
Oh, the Dwerger's face.
Yeah.
Well, the Dwerger's wiping his face calmly. The Dragonborn is laughing. And the Dragonborn says, "Who is the dead man who just took my drink?"
Ozzy does not address him, and he's just staring at the Dwarger.
Beryl looks at you. He calls over the one of the barmaids. "Young miss, 3 drinks, please." "You seem to have some sort of personal affront against me. What I did was purely business, I promise you. There was no malice intended."
When you left and mentioned my family,
yes,
that was enough.
I was there.
That's enough for me.
Yes, well, it is unfortunate business what happened to your family, but they stood in the way of the wrong people.
It's going to be unfortunate what's about to happen to you.
Everyone can hear this.
Yeah, you can hear this.
They're not currently fighting.
I'm sorry. I just picture Mr. Laugh is just now fully turned around, leaning against the bar, just with the biggest smile on his face, just like, oh, this is good.
Rory, the barkeep who knows you, Mr. Lath, is like, seems to be another interesting evening. Yes, sir?
Cyrus has just got his arms crossed, just watching in both curiosity and intrigue.
Does this happen often? Also, Jolly, isn't it that person you said you recognized?
Yes, it is, and this is very reminiscent of what I No,
Actually, the way... No, hang
I don't know
on,
if Arius would.
He's standing with his arms crossed, and he looks just like his dad. That slightly superior look, that, like, I'm looking down at all of you short-lived beings.
Yeah, no, that's what I was gonna say. Like, that's very much like his father. Yeah, no, that's definitely Arius' son. We might want to go. I feel obligated to intercede here in some way. What do you think, Cadian?
You can certainly do so, and I will help you if something happens, but I am not getting involved otherwise.
I mean, technically, I wonder if Scrim could carry him out of here.
Carry... I mean,
Wait,
would you like him to just pick him up out of nowhere and leave?
Yes.
Oh, I would love to see
Who are you
that.
talking about?
What?
Who are you talking about? Pick up who? Because if you're picking up the dwarf and ruin in this would be, one, I would have to stop you from doing such a thing. If you're picking up the if you're picking up the high elf wannabe over there, then sure, then yes, I'm all for it. Go ahead.
Yes, it was the high elf wannabe.
Okay, go ahead with that.
Next moment,
I believe he's a half-elf.
Yes,
as
half
we're
elf.
talking, a moon elf walks in. He's wearing fine black clothing, and he storms over to the Dwerger, and he's like, "Where is my shipment? We agreed, Neckripper." And Neckripper looks at it. Beryl looks at him and goes, "I will kindly ask you to keep your voice down." All right, so now we have sort of a weird standoff. We have an angry elf, a Dwerger who's soaked in ale, a murder-happy mountain dwarf,
A very concerned because obligated to former family members.
a very concerned artificer, a mildly disinterested naturalist, and two pirate captains, both of whom are sitting and watching this with the utmost amusement.
I could see why they got together.
That moment, you just got a side eye from Mr.
I think it would be Cinnamon that just comes and just starts hovering above all this and just starts dancing for no reason.
Of course it would.
Yes, of course.
That moment, the Rory hobbles out from behind the bar, and he's like, "You gentlemen should probably find your tables."
Is Rory old?
He's looking at you, Cyrus and Ozzy.
Is there any chairs nearby?
Cyrus goes
Rory-
over to
Rory
Ozzy.
makes it very clear that if you sit anywhere near these people, he's probably going to hand you your tea.
Yeah, Cyrus quickly puts an arm around Oz and just guides him to a table right at the other side of the room.
Which happens to be near Jolly. So out of the frying pan for Cyrus, into the fire.
I see his panic-stricken face, and Jolly knowing that look. Listen, I don't. I know you're Arius' son. I don't know your name, but listen, I haven't seen your father in like 20 years. I'm sure you're panicking because I'm not 100% sure here, but I don't think you're here under your father's behest. So just so you know, I haven't seen your father in 20 years, so I'm not here on his behalf, if that's your concern.
Sort of mulling it over in his head, just like his eyes narrowing at her, and he just calmly nods, and he beckons a staff member over.
Okay. The young lad comes over. May I help you?
2 ales, please.
Yes,
Mr.
sir.
Mr. Lath will also interject and say, "On me."
Yes, Captain. Absolutely, sir.
Which at that point, that's when everyone now knows I'm a captain. So you know.
Okay.
Cyrus rolls his eyes because he's been around like high officers of various types.
Little does he know I'm not that kind of captain.
He doesn't care.
Oh man. All right. So Lorik, he walks over and he's like, "So, Mr. Lath, I know you're having some fun with your friends here, but should you want to get in on it, there's some privateering to be had. Letters of marque from Calumport."
Can I wait? Would I be able to tell if this would like be of any benefit to me whatsoever?
It would be letters of marque from Calumport would give you the right to intercept ships that were not of Kalashite, not of Kalashite origin. Basically, you could get rid of a bunch of southern sea corsairs and get a lot of the gold they take. It would also let you use a port in southern waters, something you can't do right now.
So I have to find missing orphans. If anything goes according to the plan as well, we'll be commissioning my ship to the 3 who need it.
Be right back, guys.
I don't see
Okay.
why it wouldn't be a problem to put it on my to-do list. He's just gotta like lean over and with obvious distaste in his face, looking at Warwick, just basically be like, "Count me in."
Very good. Very good. Basically, what I'm going to need you to do is help me. Help me just. Can you make a distraction so I can get a ship out of port without getting searched?
I don't see why not.
Okay, you never disappoint.
You didn't say that when we broke up.
I'm a forgiving type.
Oh, I'm certain.
All right, so he sidles away. He's leaving. Ozzy, you notice that Dwergar? He's he's eyeballing you.
Oh yeah, it's the same way. He's like, there's like fire in his eyes, staring back at this guy.
At which point the barkeep walks up, brings you another mug of ale, and he's like, "Listen, lad, Don't you go after him here in Waterdeep. The Assassin's Guild sees you, they'll be coming for you. You understand?
I understand.
You want to get him. Get him on the road. I'll see if I can find out where he's headed.
Very much appreciated.
Not a problem. Some Dwerger tortured me once. I'm not fond of them.
That one there was part of the group that slayed my people.
Oh, then. Looks like we could have ourselves a mutually beneficial relationship. I'm Rory. Your name?
Nazir.
Nazir. All right. Okay, so I'm going to stop here. You all are at a good place. You're at the table in, and I'm jotting that down, at tables in the Yawning Portal. So, what did y'all think? How did I do? Hope it was okay.
I mean, I liked it from what I was here for.
What am I doing right? What am I doing wrong?
I'm generally intrigued. I mean, the fact that Cyrus does not know anything about this, you've helped that with how barely describing stuff for me for Cyrus, because what does he know about this place?
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to just, this was a good introductory thing. I'm trying to introduce a few plot threads, and I love it that Jory made Lorik his ex. That's added an entire level of weirdness and tension to that.
We didn't quite meet how I thought we would. However,
oh, my bad. I'm sorry.
It's fine. We'll still probably be able to do about the same sort of situation when we get to the ship.
Yeah.
I kind of expected a couple more of the NPCs, I guess, that we gave you to be used.
Yes. Well, I'm actually going to use them on the ship and at other various points. Basically, what I was trying to do was create an entry that I was comfortable with.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and getting you all to actually start talking to each other, that was,
Yeah, I understand.
If I didn't do it exactly the way everybody thought I should, but
you did do a very good job at like getting us to run into each other and setting the situation.
Yeah, so that's really kind of what I'm doing, because this is really sort of the intro adventure. Your big meeting and leaving Waterdeep will happen once you choose either to leave or resolve what's going on. I hope you liked the Kelvin thing of incentivizing you to log creatures.
Oh yeah, I mean he didn't need further incentive, but this is like quite a bit of benefit to what he was already planning to do.
Plus, Kelvin is great at identifying magic items and giving magic scrolls and whatnot. So he's a great sage character to visit.
Very much so. Yeah, I like that we have someone like that so soon too.
Well, I mean, like I said, I'm assuming y'all are third level. Your characters have done some stuff. You know your way around things. I really liked how Cyrus was just drawing his blade, getting ready to fight. And of course, yeah, that'll be something else, because there is some were-rat blood on Ozzy's shield.
Ooh.
And I am certain your character would recognize that smell.
Yeah, he would actually, and Jolly.
Ooh.
Yeah, so that's gonna be interesting. So I think it'll be. Oh God! See, I'm excited about where y'all, what your characters can do,
I'm back.
and
Sorry.
Jory, Mr. Loth is really well played.
Very
I,
much
I,
so.
I'm failing horribly, but I'm working with what I can. I'm trying to make it kind of like he's a pirate, but he also has a background of being a good person, being a, ex-admiral. But he's obviously a pirate who's been in the shady business for about 47 years now, and
Oh
probably
yeah.
has learned how to, enjoy the enjoy the shady bits like that tense moment between the Duergar and Ozzy, like just enjoying that. And um but I also like want to try to play on that like authoritative um personality that's basically just like I I don't I don't know how to explain it really, but
This is
um
my damn ship. You will do what I say on my ship.
pretty much.
I mean, you're captain.
Yeah, I want to
Or what? Go
yeah,
ahead.
I just like I want to try to carry that authoritative like aura about the character. Like when people walk in, they know that he's you know um, he's an in charge kind of person.
Yeah.
But clearly, had it been a different situation and had Mr. Lath not been as well kept as he was, Lorik would have been on the ground for simply just walking up to him and acting like nothing. There was nothing wrong with between them, and
Oh yeah.
I liked that idea of like Mr. Lath just being like, keep your cool, don't punch him in the face, you know.
Now, and Skylar, the other NPCs are going to come in later, especially as you all meet people, need to talk to people, etc. They are parts of the world, but I couldn't work them all into just tonight's introductory thing.
Oh
So we're
yeah,
gonna
yeah.
get there.
I
It's just
understand.
like, and also I just the other thing is I didn't try to force y'all to go too fast because I wanted to give you plenty of time to interact with each other.
Yes, and
So
I very much
yes,
enjoyed that.
excellent.
The only thing I see that might end up being an issue is because we're kind of starting to rack up quests already. Um, and we are, well, I mean, for the ones who have no business here, uh,
Mm-hmm.
like, how do I say it? So, like, I'm sure that Chad's character is probably going to want to commission the ship, as soon as whatever happens with his with this Dwerger. Uh, and for me and Jolly, it's waiting until the academy uh, gives us the order to go.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
But Jory's character already has something that he needs to sail away for.
Mm-hmm.
So
Oh
I'm
no,
just
I'm
sorry.
no. What I'm doing is I'm at this point it's not going to look like much, but what's happening is I'm weaving the plot threads together so that if you as we play next week's session, things will start to fall into place. This see what's happening to the missing people is going to go into the ship, the Dwergar, and what Lorik is doing.
Oh, okay. So it's connected.
Yeah, it's all going to connect up. It's like this is the introductory part of the novel, um, and it's like I'm having to kind of put things together. It is all interconnected. The were rats, the disappearing people, and this Dwergar, and that damn elf that just showed up and yelled at the Dwergar.
um,
So
and one thing that I do kind of have to say, like it honestly works in general, like with the fact that Chad has such a loud mouth and an inability to stop fighting things.
No, only those things. To be fair,
because when we were all discussing like how are we going to meet, how are we going to commission the ship, how are we going to do this, how are we going to do that, one of the things that I like to play with is the fact that it's a port, it's a harbor. There's all sorts of ships that Nazir could be choosing. Why would he choose the Sanquin Jewel to be so that way he can be part of the team? And
exactly.
And that's the funny thing was, it's the original idea was he goes to all sorts of different ships, but they're too expensive for him. But then I'm just like, okay, sure, why not? But now that he's had his purse stolen and he's actually kind of making rapport with Mistralath in this kind of situation, it's going to be so easy for him to just basically be like, wait, you're a captain. Can I commission your ship? Wait, I don't have any money. And like Mistralath just being like, payment enough that you stood up like you did. Get on the ship, dude. Come on.
That's kind of the other thing is I try to like I'll tell you something. None of what y'all did tonight was planned.
Oh.
I said, okay, Chad's character is gonna see the Dwergar, and then Chad's like, okay, Ozzy's following him. And I'm like, oh shit. And then he's like, Ozzy's punching him in the mouth. Oh shit. And like, I do action-oriented monsters. So now one of that of his abilities is a paralyzing nerve strike.
Yeah, hopefully
so you've learned that. Well, no, but think about this. Maybe you could go find a monk to build you special armor that stops the nerve strike.
That's
You're learning about, yeah, you didn't really have a fair chance against him because he got you off guard. But what happened was you've learned something about your opponent, and that's going to help you later. And now you know that Lorik has wings. Big gold dragonborn with wings. And so, yeah, just these kinds of little details that'll be, they will come back.
And with Skylar and Candice's characters are looking for the were-rats, Cyrus can pretty much draw from memory what the characters that attacked him look like.
Oh, see, that's beautiful. And right there, because y'all had mentioned the were-rat adventure in your description, that's why I put the were-rats in.
Yay!
Were-rats.
You're very good with weaving stories together.
Cyrus came here with no reason to be here, but I think with him being alone, this would be a reason to be with this group as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's really fun. And the biggest challenge GMing is y'all are all creative and you all have these incredibly large and interesting backstories and plans for your characters. The challenge of being a GM is weaving that together in a satisfying way.
Yeah. The hardest part is definitely, in my opinion, like getting everyone together and getting them wanting to stay together. But thankfully, the good part about that sort of thing is, when they bond while during that process, then afterwards it's easier because then they'll just follow each other to their goals.
Tina, I'm just curious about something. If we have little snippets looking back at Arius's estate, could we see like me playing Arius and him getting angry at how his son could have gone missing from allowing his eldest son letting Cyrus go?
Yeah, I mean, sure, we can.
Because I think it would be nice to just have like a little cameo of Varg and Arius and Trell.
Oh yeah, I mean, absolutely. I can definitely, if y'all are willing to do it, I'll let that happen. I mean, Arius could be yelling at Oslin. I mean, I don't know.
Why are you yelling at Oslin?
I don't know. It just seems like something Arius would do.
I mean, it's been 25 years since that incident.
And Oslin could just be like,
Okay.
"You never forgave me for that hit."
I don't think Josh has forgiven you for that hit.
Because I think Arius would be really angry and upset, and his wife would definitely be really upset. Because
Yeah.
you have the elder brother that's a pompous twat. You have the you have
See, I'm glad you described him as such because that was how I'm picturing him.
oh yeah, he's definitely a pompous twat. He's kissing his father's ass just for the titles and whatnot. You have you have the younger daughter who's a prodigy, but she's just naturally gifted. And although Arius has tried to be very fair for all of his children, she's going to be going places very quickly.
Josh, I really love that scene you mentioned about her just interrupting her older brother's like war meeting to just say
yeah.
he's doing it wrong.
Yeah, because while Arius is out of town, he's technically in charge of the estate and the local community that's around it.
Oh, and Skylar, you mentioned how Mr. Fluffykins was odd and jarring at one point.
Yes.
So I have to tell you, I found his original character sheet.
Oh.
He was a player character.
He was what now?
He was a player character. My friend Gideon had made it.
Oh.
It was in honor of wanted to play an awakened Himalayan cat because his cat had died.
Oh.
Aww.
And so I was like, okay, so Mr. Fluffykins and Gideon always kind of tried to make him sound like Orson Welles or Brain from Pinky and the Brain. So that's where he came from. I was looking back and I was like, where did I come up with that idea? And I looked. So.
I do like the story behind that, yeah.
Yes.
So one thing that I was actually wanting to ask you, I've been meaning to ask you, because I completely blanked on it while we were making the character sheets, but I was wondering, would it be okay if, like, at some point in the campaign, I don't know when or whenever you feel like that'd be pretty cool, if we could go and meet Mr. Loft's parents?
Yeah, absolutely.
Because, like, I just was wanting to know that because would you want a NPC format character sheet for them too, or
that would be beautiful. That would help a lot.
Okay, yeah, because I just know that you have the Lucius Malfoy if he was an elf father, and then and then who adores his wife but thinks that his son is a failure, and and then you have the female bronze dragon who stays in this like very beautiful human form as a human woman and loves her son, thinks he could do no wrong, and honestly would be very heartbroken if someone was able to convince her that her son became a pirate.
So funny thing, I picture Jolly meeting Mr. Loft's dad and saying, wow, the elves here really are snottier than Eric.
Yes, very much. And here's the thing, there's something I want to mention. Like, I'm playing Jolly very kind of forgetful and dense right now, simply because I kind of want to play up the fact that I think although she's intelligent and she's done a lot of research, she does have like things like ADHD and PTSD and things like that, and so sometimes she gets very forgetful, but she's definitely very intelligent. But she's also still a cat, and she very much has a sense of humor still, so she's going to be very sarcastic and witty.
Too much catnip.
So.
Hey, at least you didn't give the halfling the cheese.
No cheese.
Which in Waterdeep, you absolutely must have a signed letter from Kelvin Aronson to possess such cheese.
Interesting.
Oh, Tina, what's
yes?
So, you say you use our all characters in other games. What are our? I know you said you used my character before, but what are our other characters up to in your other games?
Well, actually, they usually just make small appearances because once again, the players in the game are the main focus. But
Yeah.
in my Greyhawk game, I have had Trell do sword training for a guy who wants to be a master, whose character wants to be a master swordsman, champion fighter type.
Oh, that's
Um,
really neat. How'd that go?
really well. I mean, the purpose is Trell. The way I picture him by the end of that game was one of the best swordsmen in Auric, the continent. So he was, he was well sought after. Um, I've used Arius several times as just somebody who can somebody in Selene who can identify magic items. I have, of course, used Kristoff a couple of times.
Yay.
He's always fun, because everybody goes into a vampire game expecting like a Justicar, like Deacon is, to be like this complete hard ass drill sergeant type, and Deacon's really like calm and he doesn't raise his voice. He's just so yeah.
And then you got
And
Kristoff,
I
who's
have
not at all what you'd expect from a vampire.
no, and then I've used Jolly a couple of times in her undead form.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So
That's
and
awesome.
Oslin often makes an appearance in various halfling settlements.
Because I can imagine, because I know by the end of that D&D game, Arius had an image of expanding the territory to protect the area
Yeah.
and expanding to the water so he could establish a navy and
Yes, he
trade.
had actually. He's actually the Lord Viceroy of the Wild Coast.
I'm actually going to
Was
note that down for Cyrus.
Yeah, he's the Lord Viceroy of the Wild Coast. He united the petty kingdoms there.
Lord Viceroy
I
of
figured you'd like the title.
I do. Lord Viceroy of
The Wild Coast.
the Wild Coast. Because I imagine he wanted to establish like a Venice type situation where trade is important, and
Yeah,
not many of the Feywilds engage in trade, but he does it to help protect the wilderness and the citizens of Greyhawk and the other wild areas from
oh yeah.
deforestation and whatnot.
Yeah, so I mean it's been very very cool and very interesting. So and also one group is working right now to go into Stonehell Dungeon, and they are looking to restore Arius's father's sanity.
Ooh.
Oh, did he go in? I can't remember. He went insane, did he? I can't remember.
Well, that was why he acted so weird and not really interested in anything, and that was why Arius's mother always took care of everything.
Ah, yes. Because I know
They'd
there's
want
Aris's great grandmother and great grandfather. His great grandfather obviously loves his crystals.
the great grandfather. I'm sorry. So the great grandfather was the one that was nuts.
Ah,
And he's the
oh,
one they're trying to help.
yes, he must be
They
helped.
Well, no, they're going to get his mind back from the entity that lives in the bottom of that dungeon.
Ah, that's
Oh,
good.
wow.
Ooh.
So yeah, loose plot threads never die. I've also used Trell to get a group of druidic eco terrorists fired up about stopping brigands that were making charcoal of the forest.
Oh, unacceptable.
I can imagine that group has a good like leadership in maintaining the order of the what is now the Wild Coast.
Yes. So yeah, it's pretty awesome, and I've kind of been messing around with that. So yeah, just remember your old characters never die; they just show up in other games.
I do love that.
It's why everyone here, especially Skylar, love the idea of my character being the son of Arius.
Yes. I
Yeah,
thought it was awesome.
and plus, eventually, maybe Jory's ship can become a spell jammer, and those are stupid fun. I love the. It was. I mean, I have the Spelljammer box set, and you're just like, this is mind-blowingly weird, and I love it.
Honestly, like when you mentioned that muffin button on that one Spelljammer of Gnomish Make, I suddenly like pictured if we went by what we planned and like everyone was coming to the ship or some point, like somehow you would be able to hear Mistralath inside the ship just yelling at Pitbug, "No, we can't have a muffin button."
But I like muffin. You know, Jolly's gonna find out about the whole muffin thing, and she's gonna figure out a way to, make a muffin replicator or something. I'm
Well,
just saying.
what was funny about the muffin button is it originates in a game where there was a guy who was playing an insane gnome mage, and he had no hair and no beard because he would always burn it off because fire's awesome. So they
Oh,
found
yeah.
like this chaos infused harp, and he managed to build a box to keep it in. It powered his airship,
Oh, nice.
and they had like a cannon on the front of it. But when you fired it, there was I think I had a D1000 table of weird stuff that could happen.
Oh, wow.
So it was that was fun. And like you can actually, there's a tomb of his that I made for that character, where like the tomb is in the astral sea, and like there's this giant gnome statue head, and like if you solve all the puzzles in it, the head pops up, and a ship, your own flying ship like his, comes out like a Pez dispenser. It's bizarre. I was like, players come up with the weirdest shit. It is so funny. It's just like, okay.
I was hoping to ask a question.
Sure.
Next time, do you think? Because last time you mentioned that maybe we could like do like a montage or something. Before.
Yeah.
I'm hoping maybe next time we have our game, we can kind of describe, take a moment to describe our characters a little more.
Yeah.
Mannerisms more so than look, because we have pictures for that. But yeah, maybe
Okay.
little montage having to do with backstory, that sort of thing.
Well, and actually, that we are in the perfect place for that, because you're sitting around in a tavern, getting to know each other.
Well, I mean, Nas is like angrily staring at a at a dwerg. I'm not sure if we're gonna get him to talk.
You know what? I'm sure he would, especially if you asked him, why is that? And then Nas can launch into his
Rant.
sad and epic rant.
While still keeping eye contact.
Yeah, exactly. I can light my pipe of remembrance that shows you.
Oh yeah, you did get that.
Oh,
That's
I
perfect.
like it.
See, y'all are great. See, like I said, I just have to set the stage. So getting you all into the same damn room, that was the challenge. Because Cyrus is running off to God knows where. Oz is like, I'm gonna go after that damn dwerger. And it's like, okay, well, and Mr. Last like, I don't know anything about the land, and y'all are at school, so I'm like, how do I get these people together?
I think it worked great.
Yeah, and like I said,
Yeah.
we had a specific plan to get us together, but like Freya not being here kind of tossed a bit of a wrench in that, so we had to figure something else
Well,
out.
and okay, and that is the other thing. Your plan for getting together, awesome stuff. I'm sure it was great. But you have learned the first and most valuable thing about GMing, which is you can have a plan, and then the one player you need for that plan to go down doesn't show up. And then you're like, well, fuck. Okay, so street fight. I don't know. You just
I
kind
mean,
of randomly have to figure out.
I mean, the whole busking scene, I just came up with that. I mean, you said the children were getting interested in cinema. I keep wanting to say Pabu, cinnamon interest. They were getting interested in cinnamon, and I thought, I know, because I already had an idea of Cyrus busking, and that just led to that perfectly.
Well,
That's a
see, and
thought.
you'd mentioned that, and I'm like, okay, so you got this thing, and children are interested, and then once again, like 99% of what happens in a game is what y'all do. It's really just I set a stage, I give you some locations, and y'all do stuff.
And
Eh,
on top of the whole like plan going down the line and everything, like that's what I loved about like on my side of the plan was that it was so flexible. Like all I had to do was just basically like, this is what I want to happen. If something goes missing, I can easily just be like, I'm gonna do this. Like I wasn't so certain that we were going to end up playing it like that because, like you mentioned, Tina, it just like the way that we planned it just made it feel so like fast. Like, let's get each other to meet each other, and then here we go. Like, let's go. And so that was one of the things. And the things that I want to happen that I was hoping that they can happen the next game, like, because I'm pretty sure it's gonna work out like that anyway. Because if Freya does show up and we are able to get Ella in from Waterdeep, then there you go. Meeting Ella in Waterdeep was part of the plan. So there you go. There it is.
well, and what's going to be really great is Ella's going to have something, but there will be other things too. But I always try to have 3 ways to go forward,
Right.
at least. But if she's able to play next time, Ella's going to have some information that's going to bring together these disparate quest stories that Skylar was talking about.
Right.
On the surface, it seems like separate things, but once Ella, who's a Thieves Guild member, starts talking, suddenly it's going to be like, oh no.
Oh, Jory. Jory.
Yes.
Oh, there.
Will you send me over the document of the siblings for Cyrus? Because I need to remember the names, and I don't remember the names.
I know there was. I know we had Emianthe, the sister.
Yes.
And
But did you write down the information on a document when you were filling in all of the character traits for the NPCs?
Yes, I have the NPC format. I didn't make a
Yeah,
note process, if that's what you're asking.
I have it. Don't worry.
Okay, good.
I've got some Google Docs. I can share some of the. Actually, I'll share a lot of the Google Docs with you. And basically, I'll include a link in the Discord, and I will put Gwendolyn and Kelvin under allies, with their keywords and whatnot, and then I'll do Lorik and Beryl. I love the name that I came up with, Beryl Neck Ripper. It's such a Blairguard name.
Yeah, it is.
Kind of like, yeah. So I need somebody who was there and killed Chad's family. I'm like, okay, we're gonna do this. So it's like, yeah, nice.
Jory, you
well,
might be the one. Sorry, Jory, you might
I
have.
sent,
What?
I sent him the form.
Okay.
Yeah, I've got it.
Yeah, I was
Yeah, thank
looking
you.
for it, and it's one of the ones I don't have saved actually.
Yeah, his personality. Yeah, the personality listed is for Xaniaris Quinn Syrian, the elder brother. See, he's even got a pretentious name.
That is so pretentious. I like it.
His personality is pretentious, condescending, and obnoxious.
That's perfect.
And Imanathe Alicia Syrian, the younger sister, is sarcastic, analytical, and eccentric. Quite polar opposite to the older brother.
Nice. Oh, something else about the NPCs y'all created. Skylar, one more thing about that is they will be basically. I try to introduce no more than 2 or 3 NPCs at a time, just to give each one its own screen time. So they're gonna get there.
Okay.
I don't want to conflate. Like, I'm gonna try to do something with, like, the character that really grabbed me was Boss. I like Boss is interesting. So we're probably going to do something. She's going to be one of the first ones we do something with.
Yay. Oh, speaking of Boss, I really want my character to bunk with her.
Okay. Well, I mean, once again, that's entirely up to what y'all want to do. I'm not going to force anything.
Yes.
I want to thank you for bringing in Grelmec for one last time. Oh, well, I hope not the last time, but
Yeah.
Grelmec's
Who
probably about
knows?
50 now.
Yeah, he's 50.
I mean, yeah.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, so he must have been 25 when during Arius's adventuring.
Actually, I'd say he was probably. No, he's not that old. He's probably in his 30s, which is old for an orc.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, orcs mature, like, they go out fighting at 10, and they live to be, I think, about 55 usually.
Yeah, and Arius's elder brother is 25, so 25 years past. So he probably
Yeah.
was about 5 when he set out, when he met Arius.
Yeah. He's getting up there, but he
Oh,
still wants to punch Arius's older brothers, or
I think,
oldest son.
yeah, I think, yeah. That's why Arius's younger sister isn't physical with the older brother. She's sarcastic with him, like, as Skylar said, interrupting him during meetings and whatnot.
He's the Hermione of politics.
And
Yeah,
I kind of picture that Grelmet kind of spoils her.
I can imagine so.
Yeah,
You know,
he's,
I'm getting this image. I don't know if you guys have seen Firefly, but I'm getting this image of River, um, the 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 daughter.
yes,
Getting the
but
image of River,
less
but
torn up.
right, like the younger River when they were at
Yeah.
home and before she was taken away. Like that River is the image I have of his sister
So
right now.
Grelmec spoiled Emmy, and Varg spoiled Cyrus.
Yeah, and probably Arius's great grandmother spoilt the elder son.
Well, yeah,
Oh
because
God, I could picture her doing that.
the older brother's the epitome of high elf. Like, of course, the grandmother would love that.
Well, you do realize Grandma was just Mallory Archer from Archer with pointed ears, right? If you've never seen
Yes,
that, she is just.
yes, I've seen that. I can see it now.
So, I do have to ask though, what drove you to Boss, Tina?
I don't know. I mean, I just think she's an interesting character to kind of start getting to know. I want to make her life difficult, so y'all have to help her.
Oh.
It's one of those things. It's like, a friend of mine, she always talks about, I love my characters, I really do. Then I just like to traumatize the hell out of them.
So it's a form of therapy in a way for me, but yes.
Yeah, it's like we create these characters, and then if they don't have problems, they don't have an interesting story. So I like Boss. Like I said, there's just something about her that kind of stuck with me. So I'm like, yeah, we're gonna do some
Female
stuff
dwarf
there.
as a lesbian.
And the fact that she's part of Nazir's clan.
Yeah, which was completely like just randomly chosen because we thought it would be pretty interesting. Probably give us a lot of excuses to actually meet up with her. So.
No, and Nazir and Boss, I'm pretty certain that Boss is going to be a little obsessive about finding that Dwerger.
Yeah, especially after she finds out what happened.
Oh yeah. There will be blood, as they say.
Why am I imagining Imantia asking Grelmek like questions? Have any of you seen F is in the Family?
No.
No.
Ah, but there's like the young daughter in there's always asking questions, so I can imagine her being like, "Why did you kill that person? What axe did you use? How bloody was it?"
That was the least efficient way that you could have done it. I see that you could have done it this way instead.
At which point, Grelmek would give her the axe, give her an axe, and then he would take his wooden axe and he'd be like, "Now try to kill me." And then he would be standing over her with his axe on her and say, "Now you see they don't stand still."
I even had one better thinking of that. It's just like, honestly, haven't you read how to wield an axe? That works too. Like, Jesus.
Can we have the adventures of Arius's children? It's like it needs to be like some kind of like sitcom one shot. Can we please?
I call planes
Yeah.
Yaris.
I want to play the
I
daughter.
could do that.
What is it, like All in the Family? Just a one shot called All
Arius
in
in
the
the
Family.
family.
You know what? I would do it. I will do this. I'm not too proud. Who wants to play Grelmek?
I mean, there's only one person that can play Growback, I think.
I'll just play Arius.
I want to play the daughter. Same.
Like I said, if anyone can be obnoxious, it's be me. I'll be Zinyaris.
Well, like I said, I'm very happy with the way this first session turned out. We'll be able to work in montages beginning of next session.
Yay.
And hopefully young Ella will be here and we can push the plot forward that way. But otherwise, you can meet Ella. Remember those letters of marque in Kalimshan? You can meet her in Kalimshan, which is sort of a North African type city. So yeah. All right, everybody. Thank you all so much for playing. I appreciate you.
Thank you very much, Tina.
Yeah, I'll be on Discord if you need me, and I'll see you next week. All right.
All right.
Thank you.
All right. Sounds
Have a
good.
great one.
Good night,
Good night,
Tina.
everybody.
Good morning.
Good morning.